And a debate on whether to call for a ceasefire in Gaza brought the UK Parliament into disarray, with the Speaker of the House now accused of party politics. Nearly 60 MPs are calling on Speaker Lindsay Hoyle to quit for his handling of the parliamentary session. The Scottish National Party, which had tabled the motion, and the Conservative government have both condemned him for selecting the Labour Party's amendment. They accuse the Speaker of trying to avoid internal divisions within the Labour Party, despite his duty of impartiality. Well, for more on this, let's speak to Harry Fawcett. He's across this for us from Westminster. Harry, it feels like more and more MPs are piling on here. What kind of pressure is the Speaker under right now?
Well, it's certainly increasing pressure, especially since in the last hour or so, the Scottish National Party officially said, as a party, it's the third largest party in Parliament, it had no longer any confidence in Lindsay Hoyle, Sir Lindsay Hoyle, to carry on in his position as Speaker of the House, accusing him of partisan politics in favour of Labour during the debate. He came to the House himself a little earlier in the day, and he apologised again for the decision-making on Wednesday, but he said that it was out of concern for MPs' safety. He said he never wanted to pick up a phone and find that one of his friends on either side of the House had been murdered by terrorists, to use his terminology. That follows the killing of an MP in 2021. It follows a number of death threats that a lot of MPs have been talking about. And part of his calculations, he is saying in his decision yesterday to allow the Labour amendment to be voted upon, was to get the broadest range of possible options for MPs to make sure that they weren't voting in some way against their conscience and opening themselves up to potential danger at their constituency offices or their homes. The Labour leader, Keir Starmer, has also been talking. He was accused by the Conservative Party of having lent on the Speaker of the House to ensure that his amendment was able to be voted on, to try to stem any potential rebellion within his ranks. He denied having threatened the Speaker, but he did say that he had urged him to allow the amendment to be voted upon.
Harry, can you explain for our viewers what exactly was quite so controversial about his decision on Wednesday? Because it's obviously within the context of the way that the UK House runs.
It is, and usually when on an opposition day, as it was on Wednesday, an opposition day for the Scottish National Party, when such a party puts forward a motion, usually it would be that motion and only the Conservative government or the government of the day's amendment to that motion that would be voted upon. If that had been the case on Wednesday, that would have put Labour in a very difficult position, because Labour would have seen its MPs either having to vote with the Scottish National Party for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza without any sort of further caveating about, as in Labour's amendment there was, about Israel not being expected to be able to continue to cease fire if it no longer faced a threat, if it continued rather to face a threat from Hamas, and there were various other caveats along those lines. And so his decision to dispense with tradition and the usual running of things, to allow that Labour amendment, really allowed Labour to have its own MPs vote with it and not have a potentially politically damaging result, another one, in the House of Commons in the run-up to an election. So that's why it was controversial. The Scottish National Party says that it wanted to have its own motion voted upon as well, because it mentioned collective punishment of Palestinians in Gaza. Labour accuses the Scottish National Party of playing politics itself by trying to engineer such a division and rebellion within Labour ranks. So all of this has really been sort of leveraging, to some extent, or at least it's being seen by many to be leveraging what's been going on in Gaza as part of a sort of domestic political game and calculation. And that is why so many people have expressed such dismay at what happened on Wednesday. And along with that, there is this very serious question over the future of the Speaker of the House.
And indeed, we'll see whether he survives this. Harry Fawcett there with all the latest for us from Westminster. Thank you, Harry.